All right, seeing done and that there is no one signed up, that will conclude testimony on House Bill 5186, which brings me to Representative Solomon's bill, House Bill 5100, for Chairman Solomon. It's an act related to public property and works, prohibits any development of land contiguous to the State House unless approved by the General Assembly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
We lost you.
Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, and members of the committee. I introduced this bill which would prohibit any development of land contiguous to the State House unless it's approved by the General Assembly. I've introduced this bill the past few years, and it's passed through this committee each time, and it's also passed the House of Representatives. But like Chairman Azanaro's bill, unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere in the Senate. And the reason why I introduced this bill is that the Rhode Island Department of Transportation has that a few years ago they had a plan to develop the State House lawn, the front part of it, right near where the train station was, and that concerned me that there was no oversight over, whether they could do that. So they could do that without any General Assembly approval. And considering that open land is so important, open space is so important, and the State House is such an important building, an important piece of property for protests, as opposed, and other types of events, that we need to preserve it. And not that this prohibits all development, but at least it gives the General Assembly an opportunity to say yay or nay whether a development should occur. So, I would hope for your consideration on this bill, and I'm open to any questions if you have them.
Any questions of the sponsor? Representative Lamar. Unmute. You're on mute. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm getting feedback. That's why I apologize again. So, Representative Solomon, I'm just concerned about with the recent decision that was in today's paper. Is this a separation of powers issue? Is this within our jurisdiction, or is this the jurisdiction of the executive branch of government? And it's purely a question. It's not a trick question. So.
That's a good question, but what I will say is that the JCLS has authority over the State House offices and the building. So I would suspect that the General Assembly should be able to approve whether there's any type of development on the property. I mean, that may be a good question for legal counsel, but I do feel pretty confident that at the end of the day, the General Assembly can, have some say as to what occurs with the property in which the General Assembly is in.
Mr. Chairman, if I just want to follow up, may I follow up? It's very
sure.
I agree, Chairman Solomon. I'd love to get a legal opinion before I vote on this. I think it's imperative that at least we're going to be doing this on solid ground, and let's avoid any unnecessary litigation if we can going forward.
Chairman Solomon, can you hear me?
I can.
Congratulations, by the way, on your new position.
Thank you, Chairman.
Refresh my memory. We have passed this, haven't we?
We've passed this, I believe, 3 times already. Either 2 or 3 times.
And it dies in the Senate?
Unfortunately, it doesn't go anywhere in the Senate. I'm not sure if it's received a hearing. I believe Senator Pelag has introduced it on the Senate side.
Has there been any feedback from the Senate as to why?
Yes. I've not received any feedback specifically as to why it hasn't.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman.
Further questions of the sponsor? Okay, seeing none, that concludes testimony on House Bill 5100, sponsored by Chairman Solomon.